Brick, you get your boy Big Wall. And y'all already know what type of time it is when y'all see Pstock next to me. Y'all know what we here to do. We are here to address the culture, right, P?
That's it. That's what it is, man. It's like another family reunion together again, making it happen, man. Talking about what's happening in the culture and time and addressing it, keeping up with everything that's happening, man. A lot of crazy stuff been happening, that's around the board, across the board. The world is very different now. That's the way it's
come on, man.
The world is very different now.
The world is a ghetto. You know what I'm talking about? It's just not the hood no more. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's definitely not just in the hood. It's like the hood is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And when we talk about the hood, that's why I like today's interview because we got somebody on here that's a hit breaker, a street shaker. You know what I'm talking about? The hood motivator. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody that's been putting in work. Man, come on, man. Talk about it, man. Been putting in work for so long. You know what I'm saying? And you know how we like to say, we like to talk to people who add to the culture instead of take away from it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what it is. And that's exactly what it is. And that's what our guest tonight does. That's what he brings to the table. He adds to the culture. It's always positive, never negative. Don't get it twisted. Business wise, if you're out there and you run into him, holler at your boy, man. He's smooth businessman, smooth record breaker. He's just going out there collecting award after award after award, and I love it, man. I love it, and doing what he do, having fun, doing what he loved to do, So and that's what you got to do.
And that's one thing about it. Exactly what you said, P. When you love to do what you do, you know what I mean? It comes off with a different type of energy, a different type of vibe, because people be doing stuff and they don't have to. You could be in your own house doing your own thing, looking out for your people, but it's a certain type of person that wants to elevate his community, elevate the people around him, add to the culture. You know what I mean? And that's what's so dope about our guest tonight. Now we're not gonna talk too much. We're gonna go ahead and bring him in and let's hear from him. You know what I'm saying? So Pete, go ahead and introduce our guest, man. So we can talk.
That's right. Tonight, y'all. The viewers, this is a treat right here. We have the one, we have the only Lex Luga, the Backwoods ambassador, the record breaker. That's the official record breaker right here. Hood Idol, the Trafiking Hour. I know you've seen it. If you're on social media and you breathing air, I know you seen Lex.
I know.
And that's what's up. I know.
What's going on with you, Lex?
What's happening, Lex,
man?
Man, not much, man. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate y'all. I already know, man. I'm ready to address the culture, as you say.
Boy, that's what I'm talking about. I know you are. That's what I'm talking about, man. So and we're gonna let you. We're gonna let you address the culture. We're gonna try to make us.
What we here to do.
Like we were saying, man, you gonna get your flowers. You're gonna be able to address the culture, the whole 9 yards. So let them have it. You on the throne. You on the throne, baby. You on it.
So if those who have possibly been living under a rock and don't exactly know what you do, how you do it, and how you've been doing it for such a long time at a high level, who is Lex Luga?
Looking at your video now, right?
Hey, well, I go by the name Lex Luga, man, the Backwoods ambassador, the streets. Then you meet a record breaker, because I done helped so many artists. Introduce a lot of new records. I'm on radio, TV. I have a magazine. I'm the owner of SSC Marketing Group, which is a marketing company that promotes all businesses, and also the creator of Hood Idol Tour, which is a tour for up-and-coming artists, a platform that we travel all over the nation, giving artists a chance to perform, and we give out prizes as well. And also, man, which branched off into Hood Idol TV, Hood Idol the magazine, Hood Idol the radio, and Hood Idol Apparel. So just somebody, man, that's trying my best to give back to the culture from the things that I've been through in life that led me on this path. And music gave me a chance to do something different from the things that I was doing in life before this. So it became I built a different culture with what we was doing with the Hood Idol tour and the whole Hood Idol movement.
I like that. I like that, Lex. You kind of talked about the things that you kind of made it through in order to get to where you got to, because you named quite a few things. You wear so many hats. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I kind of want to talk about before you decided to diversify and tap into so many different genres. Kind of talk about your upbringing and the things that you kind of went through that kind of put you on this path to be a full entrepreneur.
All right. Well, first of all, I got to shout out to my whole team too, man. I got a whole team I'm working with. Even though I'm the face, I got a lot of people that that's behind me that help me do everything I do. In my early days, man. Yep. Which is SSC, Mark. The whole South
State connected.
SSC. Yep, which is all over. But as far as my upbringing, man, how I even got the entrepreneur spirit is that my grandfather, even my great grandfather, owned their own businesses. My grandfather, his name was Willie Buddy Boy Smith. He's a very well known entrepreneur from Los Angeles. Is where he made his name. He used to own 7 chain restaurants called Texas Famous Fried Chicken, and so I was his oldest grandkid because my mom had me when she was 16. So he kind of raised me, as I guess you could say his youngest kid, and along with my grandmother. So my grandmother was more into the church, so I got to live both lives. My grandfather was at one point a real street dude that ended up going legit. He took his street money and got the restaurants. And so in my upbringing, I was really around a lot of the drug dealing and things like that. Especially with my uncles and things of that nature. So coming up, when I got a little older, I got in trouble as well. And what ended up me coming on this path is that just to kind of sum it up, to be brief, because that's a story in itself, just all the stuff that I went through. But what kind of got me on this path and what really put me doing the music the way I'm doing it now is that in 2012, I had a federal case. And so I was facing life in a federal penitentiary. And, God blessed me to come home from that. And when I did, I ended up meeting this guy named Kermit, the Superstar Maker. And, he kind of just started teaching me a few things. I started networking on his conference call with people all over the country. My first mentor is Charlie Braxton, who had originally taught me the music when I was in college. I went to Jackson State. So by the time I hooked up with Kermit, he was looking for somebody that do the street team work and that organized shows. So I fit in like that. And, I didn't want to go back to prison after, I got paraded on TV for a couple of years. It took me a couple of years to beat my case. So I was locked up with no bond for about 2 years. So, really 18 months. Then after I beat that case, I had a state case and got sent to the state penitentiary. Ended up having to write my way out of there. And getting back before the judge and got released. So music, just doing anything in the industry was kind of my way. I was backing an artist by the name of Juke Joint, and the guy I really believed in. And in between this time too, like I say, it's kind of of hard to see. My youngest brother was murdered right before I came home from prison. So my whole thing was before my time speaking to my brother was he wanted to be a rapper. We had made an agreement. If he go back to school because he was a dropout. I wanted him to go to school. I helped him pursue a rap career. And so that's the last thing that we ever said to each other because I got picked up the next morning, and by the time I actually got over my case, like I said, he was murdered a month. Actually, 2 days before they put that I went before the judge. He was murdered 2 days before that. So that kind of helped with the music thing to where I kind of started doing it just for him as a sense of, well, not, I won't say just for him, but I guess you could say it was kind of my therapy, and everything just took off.
First of all, I want to say my condolences, brother. Because I know that was definitely not a easy part of your life, man. And I kind of want to tap on that a little bit because it's so many people who has experienced that as far as being incarcerated and losing somebody close to them, and they don't make it through, Lex. You know what I'm saying? Like it's certain hurdles that people go through, and they just can't get over it. You know what I mean? And you were able to take that and channel those situations and turn it into something, man. How was you able to do that, bro?
Man, all I attribute to, man, is God, man. You know, I'm not religious, but I am spiritual. And, you know, man, even looking back, bro, I really can't tell you, man. You know, I do know you know, I stayed busy, you know, really, man. I stayed busy, and a lot of the things you see me doing, you know, or that most people would have seen me doing, was my coping mechanism. My coping mechanism was I became really a workaholic to where, you know, when I woke up, I had a goal in mind, and that's what I did. When I went to sleep, I fell asleep working. You know, so that's what kept me going. And be honest with you, dog, like that really kept me going up until last year, really. Last year is when I just sat down and reflected, like, man, I cannot believe all the stuff that I've done, like as much work as I put in, as many places as I've done, all the platforms I created, all the connections. Like last year, at the end of the year is when I just kind of took a break. You know what I mean? And even though I'm working now, I'm still on break because I was going harder probably that any human being could possibly go, probably.
Yeah. To be honest, bro, to say just last year, you just starting, you know what I'm saying, to get to the point where you could start seeing, that means you was in a tunnel, man, and not only you was in a tunnel, you was working. And because like I said, brother, it's so many times where people see stuff and go through stuff and they not able to take that turn, and you was able to take that turn and turn it into something positive when it comes to the music and looking out for artists. What kind of made you want to put that hat on and kind of not only when it comes musically to start looking for artists and you know investing in them and trying to make other people's dreams come true,
giving them a platform?
Yeah.
As I say, man, they all kind of became my little brother, you know, and you know, and I always wanted to do something great and be something great, man. And I was raised to where, you know, one way that you could live forever is to instill whatever your beliefs are in somebody else and teach them. So as long as whatever you teach them, they're able to pass along, then you can live forever. So me giving to the artists, me teaching them, me even scouting talent, me seeing who got a different mindset, me seeing who even worth me dealing with, you know, is became my life's goal. So that's how I ended up going place to place. And you know, if anybody ever been to my shows, that's why I teach at my shows. I give as much information as I can to everyone because I want to see everybody succeed no matter what it's in. I try to give life lessons to where You may not even succeed in the music or your dreams, but you'll be able to succeed in something, you know, in life, and not have to, and to be a positive influence. That's the best way I could put it.
Mm-hmm. 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 And that's one of the big things that I like and appreciate about you. And we spoke before, and we talked about that. You know, the same thing. You know, with the longevity angle that you go on, and you're winning these awards, and the work that you put in, helping a lot of people. You really are someone that loves helping people get along, and we talked about that. That's what these platforms are for. You know, and along the way, you know, we talk about it too, the pet peeves about it. You dealt with changing people. So let's talk about that for a minute. Let's address the culture on that one. You know, the people changing, you know, you doing things, you helping folks, and then folks don't understand. It's their, you know, not understanding what they supposed to do in their business. It's your business. It's your own business, not me. You sitting there, you're the record breaker. You don't need a record deal. You got radio stations and everything else, you know. So it's hard to get that point across with somebody. But let's talk about that, because I know you deal with a lot of that throughout the years. You know, I know you do.
All right. Well, now let's address the culture now. So
let's go in then.
Yeah, so you know, so any artist listening, if you could understand the point to where when you choose to be an artist, first of all, that's what you choose. You chose that. So it's not up to nobody else to help you do anything. Everything that you choose to do is your choice. When you choose to become an artist, you choose to own your own business. It just so happens that you become the business because you're the artist. So owning your own business, you have to be willing to invest and make sacrifices. You know, so nobody owes you anything. Nobody. So because you just got a good song, you think the DJ's supposed to play it, but why? Why should he play it? You got to give him a reason to play it. You got to be able to build not only your record, but your connections and the connection to the people. You know, so if you can understand the point to where when you become an artist, you are a business and you go by a business model, your chances of being successful will drastically increase.
All right, okay. Since we going there, you know what I'm saying? Let's go there then. You know what I'm talking about? We don't address the culture. You know what I'm talking about? Because I don't like entitlement either. When we talk about artists feeling like somebody owes them something, and not understanding when somebody is blessing them. You know what I'm saying? You don't owe them. You don't have to invest your time, your money, your effort, your connections to get them to where they need to get to. Now, okay, just say an artist coming up to you, Lex. You know what I'm saying? He's a talented artist. You know what I mean? And he want to come up to you and he say, man, I've been watching your movement. I want to be a superstar. Can you help me? What are the 3 things that you are looking for to take your time and your effort to invest in this artist?
Well, one of the first things I'll be looking forward to see if the artist is willing to even listen or follow directions. That would be the very first thing. You know,
always first.
Yeah, because sometimes when you're very talented, you tend not to be as humble and willing to listen. You assume that your talent will make way for your success when that's really not the case. Your work ethic will. The second thing I look for is that I look for artists that's willing to invest in themselves. Like if somebody, you know, come to me and say they're a superstar and telling me how they'll make me rich, then I wonder, well, why you not rich? Because you believe that much of yourself, you'll work 3 jobs, save up all the money you can, and make the move yourself to make you and your family rich. So I look at, do you believe in yourself to where you willing to invest in yourself. Like, it's called having skin in the game. You want an investor don't want to invest in someone who's not willing to invest in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The third thing that I would look for would be work ethic. Like, what are they willing to do? What are they actually doing? You know, because just being on the internet or just being, just sharing stuff, an artist not even willing to pass out their own flyer or try to sell their own CDs.
Exactly.
That's a red flag to me. So those are some of the things that I look for that'll say, okay, well, I see them, out there passing out their own flyer. Okay, well, he didn't put flyer. They sharing their stuff, all their stuff set up right, and I gave them a little jewel, and they went and did that. Okay, well, I may give them a chance now. Then it's a building process from there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you just hit your hammer on a lot of stuff, Lex, just right there. And that statement you said, where people don't want to invest, like, they could, like you said, they say, I could make you a lot of money. Okay, then you could pay me for the services we get ready to do. The services that you need done. If you need studio time, pay for your studio time. If you need your tracks done, pay for your tracks. Get your tracks done. Pay the engineer, pay the producer that's sitting there. Bless them, all the hands. And then if you do anything, especially if you get like a budget, because that's the thing. You like to deal with people that have a budget or know how to budget. So it makes things go smoother. It makes it just go smoother, that they know what they want to spend. But if you're doing a project, whatever budget you have, you got to take half of that budget and set it aside for your marketing and your advertising. Okay. You got to get in the studio and do that stuff. But after you get that record done, you might have a great record. Okay. You're going to have to get that record out there for people to hear it, to see it, to represent your music, to see it. That's not free. Lex isn't obligated to do that. Big Wall ain't obligated to run around waving your CD in the air,
Absolutely.
I mean, there's love, at times, but you're not obligated for that, but you got the avenues and you got the machine set up that could assist, that could give you the assist to get your music out there and get it going. The rest is on you. How much you invest into yourself. That's what we tell people, Lex, and I know that's what you was hitting on. You got all these, you got all these offers. You got mixtapes, you got the Hood Idol magazine, you got Hood Idol TV, you got so many platforms going on, Hood Idol Radio, so I mean, and it's 24/7, and that's what you call exposure. That's priceless when you can get in rotation. If Lex got your record in rotation, it's going somewhere. People is listening. People are hearing it. People's listening. They know what's happening. And that's what people don't understand. That's work. That's your work. You love doing it, but that's your work. You don't love doing it for nothing, with
absolutely.
Or nobody showing no gratitude.
And I gotta pay too, though.
Yeah, you gotta pay.
I gotta pay too. Ain't none of them platforms free.
You gotta pay. No, it ain't free for me. It ain't free for Big Wall. It ain't free. We gotta do what we gotta do. So and we try to assist, because I know Big Wall too deal with a bunch of artists. Too. He got his hands full. And I know I did it, man. I'm too old for that. This white hair, this white hair right here. Yeah, I've seen enough with them artists. Them artists, man. I mean, and I get it, man. I mean, running around on tours, you got to run around. Even if you're in hotels, you got to make sure the girls running in and out the room are of age. Asking for IDs. Let me see your ID. Let me see your ID. What you doing on this floor? Who you up there talking to? Yeah, it's too much stuff.
It's no handout to hip hop. Like how Lex said, like, you got to pay for everything to get anywhere in hip hop. You know what I mean? And what was so dope about what you said, Lex, the first thing I asked you was the 3 things that you will be looking for in the artist. And the first thing you said was something that I expected you to say. But a lot of people wouldn't have said that. But that definitely let me know what type of time you're on. Because when you said you want an artist that's going to listen, you know what I mean? Because it seems like the most talented artists don't want to listen. You know, it seems like the more talented they are, the worse it is. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand where you're coming from, man. And it kind of leads me into my next question, man. You've been doing it for a while, man. Just like we all have on here. What are something that you seeing in today's artists that's different from artists from the past? You know, like do you think the level of artistry has improved? Or is it a little diluted when we talk about artists, they mind state, and just the hustle of the game?
Now, the mind state has changed, but the talent, the main thing is that the talent is so abundant. I mean, all over, man. I mean, all over, man. Females, their talent is exponential, you know. Especially, you know, comparing to the males as well. And the drawback is the mindset. You know, 20 years ago, the artists would get out there and hustle, and they'll get on the corner. They'll do whatever got to do to get on shows, to sell product, to make money off of their music. Now that the talent, which you know, what happened was, in my opinion, addressing the culture, is that most people that probably started doing the music now heard a whole bunch of stuff on the radio, and they felt like that they could do that, or they was better than what they heard on the radio, not realizing that those people that you probably hearing put in some hella work. Though you don't hear the most talented artists because they're not going to, most of them don't listen, most of them not going to put in the work, you know. So you ended up getting artists that's maybe not as talented but could produce a hit and work and willing to listen because they wasn't as talented. So now that we have an abundance of talent, what separates the artists is those who are willing to work and those who end up getting in a good situation. Now, to touch on what one of my things about, like when I said about helping the artists, you know, artists will say that they this and that and gonna remember, but most artists don't remember you when you help from the beginning, you know. And that's just say it takes them 3 to 5 years to become successful. They gonna forget about you, the little things and gems that you drop, and I can't blame them. You know, it's been a while, but when somebody does business, they don't forget about you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Courage from Favorite Films, and I am excited to tell you some great news. You Gotta Have Courage is now streaming on Tubi. I have 4 episodes up. It's going to be epic. I hope you feel that same way. You have to check it out. And if you was wondering where your footage went, and it wasn't in the video, it's because it went into the show. So take a look, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your cousin, tell your sister, and then repeat. Stay tuned to more You Gotta Have Courage. Films.
Yeah, so you know, with that being like one of the main things is that people not gonna I can't see with them. People not gonna remember when you actually didn't help them do something, you know. So so I'd rather keep it about this, you know. And you know, as long as you keep it business with everything, that's how you're gonna benefit. Because one of the things that bothered me is that, you know, a lot of artists say about their masters and, you know, and about you know, when you do get somebody to help you, doing it that way, when you 100% independent, you pay for everything, then you make all the money too. You own everything. You own the masters. You pay for everybody to do everything. You didn't get nobody else involved. You paid everything like a business owner should, and you become a real boss then, So, but other than that, when you involve people, say for instance, even with the puppy situation, with him giving artists back their masters or whatnot, I seen one guy complain about that. What a lot of people fail to understand is that when somebody invests in you, they got to get their money back. But if you didn't have that, 100% of zero is zero. You ain't got nothing going, and somebody choose to invest in you, whether it's money, time, or whatever. You really got to humble yourself and understand it's just business and get what you can out the situation best you can. If you got the money to support yourself and to pay everybody, and you know that you got it, you know that you got a hit, man, do it. Because if you really got that, you gonna make all the money. Somebody like Tech Nine, that I think he's probably one of the richest independent artists, hands down.
Ever.
Yeah, Tech Nine.
Ever. Yeah. And I like what you said. Speaking about Puff, Irv Gotti recently spoke about that as well. He said along the lines that Ja Rule, Ashanti, they can go on the road and make millions and millions of dollars performing them songs over. He don't get a piece of that. He's supposed to be able to make his money off of the masters. That's where he make his money at. So how could he turn around and give all the masters away, and they get to go make millions of dollars all year long singing them songs? You know what I mean? That made so much sense. I get it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we all want to make money. You know what I'm saying? So like people don't think about that stuff, and people want to make it seem like it's just all about them. You know what I'm saying? So that's super dope.
Yep. And the other thing about that too, man, think about it though. We wouldn't know who she was if it wasn't for Irv Gotti. I'm not saying like, I'm a Gotti fan of taking his side. I'm saying that's really with anybody.
That's the business.
Wouldn't have got rich without him. You understand what I'm saying? And even being in the situation of where she was, and for her to even be there. So I'm not, and it's just because you said her, but that applies to artists. Yeah, absolutely. When we talk about just the game in general, we talk about the internet, man, because again, you've been around for so long, man. And me and Peter had this conversation quite a bit. When you talk about just how the internet has affected just the game across the board, some people say it's a gift and a curse. Some people say the internet is the best thing that happened to the game. But looking through your eyes, how do you feel the internet has impacted the industry?
Oh man, well, the internet has affected the industry drastically. First of all, man, I'm gonna attribute it to the internet, but the internet changed the way that we even consume and listen to music. So, when you saying affect the industry, if you mean in that way, it took a lot of money from the artists that was being made, really, because what happened was, and I'm gonna go ahead and give my disclaimer because this is my opinion.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if anybody agrees with it or not, but the businesses got together, and that's Spotify, Apple, all of this here, to where most people go listen to music. But we're paying them all the money to listen to music, and now the artists are getting pennies. Versus you would have had to go buy the record at the store or listen on the radio or whatever, and the artist got, they might have got $1, but they still got definitely more than what they getting now. If they was independent, they got all the money. So it changed the way that we consume music. Now, it did give a whole bunch of artists a platform that they didn't have before, though.
Yeah.
Which is how we got millions and millions of artists, versus you wouldn't have knew about the millions of artists without the internet.
Yeah, that's real talk. That everything you just said, especially with these artists today, with the internet and the way they're utilizing it, where everybody's walking around with a computer and their cell phone. Okay, So first off, now radio is expanded from FM and AM to internet. You know, that people have more readily because that's what they keep on you, your cell phone, that computer. That's how you keep in contact. So that's a part of it. So there used to be a time where, as an artist, somebody say, I'm an artist. So you give them a CD or something and say, here, that's your business card. Here, take this CD. That's your business card. Today, it's digital. So you got to have a platform, you know, a website or something. Check me out on Spotify, whatever, you know. Check me out here. You know, catch me on the Trafiking Hour Radio. You know, catch me there. You know, stuff like that now is what you got to do. I'm on this mixtape. Mixtapes is still the thing. I love mixtapes because you get a variety of artists and music, and it keeps going. That's why I love the Trafiking Hour, the mixtapes that you do, Lex, because you be grabbing artists from all over because you're hitting different spots, so you're getting that variety. Nothing's it's all different. So you get to hear what they doing in Texas. You get to hear what they doing in Atlanta, what they doing in Memphis, the sound of Memphis, the sound of Mississippi, and everything. You know, that's big. And then being in the heart, and this is the biggest thing I was telling Big Wall about, being in the heart of HBCU country land, where HBCUs, you can get your music out further, especially with kids coming to the HBCUs from the Midwest, from the West, you know, from the North. So they're getting that music and taking it back with them, taking it home. They're getting that Trafiking Hour mixtape and taking it back to New York. They're getting that Trafiking Hour mixtape and taking it back to Chicago, to take it to LA, to take it to Dallas, you know, and that's the smooth thing about it, man. So, you know, it's always a pleasure and a big, you know, honor to have you on here. And we're going to do more, you know. Come back in anytime you have something that you want to get off. Come right here to address the culture and address the culture, bro. You know, you got it. You know, our casa, your casa, come in and holler.
Absolutely.
You know what? Yeah, well, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna piggyback what he said, man. It's dope to have you come through and address the culture, because you know, like we say, time is something that you can't get back. So we appreciate you giving us yours, coming through, dropping jewels, man.
Yeah,
you got so many platforms and so many things that you're doing to the culture, us as well, man. So we definitely gonna put something together and continue to add to the culture, man. Because I love your mind state, the way you move and how you just been giving it up for so long, man. It's super dope. Now, before you get up out of here, we can't let you get up out of here before you tell the culture everything you got going on. Yeah. Tell them what you got in coming up. You know what I'm saying? Because we know you got a whole lot of bullets in the chamber. You know
let them know. You got the Hood Idol Awards. You got, man, there's so much to live. And for your artists out there, definitely get with Lex to get your material, to get your story, a part of your story, promote. You got the Hood Idol magazine. You know, you got the Trafiking Hour. Get with it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let them know.
So let everybody know what's going on with you, bro.
All right, well, I got to say congratulations to you guys being nominated for a Hood Idol Award for your platform. We got the Hood Idol Awards going to be in Hazelhurst, Mississippi, November the 4th. And, you know, for this, is this your first time hearing about even the Hood Idol movement? So let me just quickly give you a brief what that is. So basically, an idol is someone who's well respected or looked up to. You understand what the word hood is. So you put them together, you have a hood idol. So we're looking to recognize those who maybe come from obscure beginnings, who now have a positive message or have a positive story to share with others, you know, and we're looking to build positive role models. That's what really make you a hood idol, when you can go from maybe doing something negative to doing positive, where somebody can look at you and see a change. So that's the Hood Idol Awards, November the 4th. You can go to hoodidoltour.com. We do have the Hood Idol Tour, which give up-and-coming artists a chance to perform. We'll be in Nashville, Tennessee, September the 16th,
at the 41st African Music Festival. And, you know, after that, we got a few tour dates that we're putting together. But, you know, you can follow me on all social media. It's the same. It's SSC Lega. That's SSC Lex Luga on all social media. Or you could just go even type in Hood Idol on Google and it'll take you to everything. But the Hood Idol Awards. Yep. And at the Hood Idol Awards, you know, we recognize artists, small businesses, community activists, and, you know, different platforms that give people a chance to be heard just like this one.
And that's big.
And look, that's huge, man. And again, we want to thank you for being nominated. You know what I mean? Giving us our flowers. We so used to giving out flowers, man. It feels strange to get them back. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to you. Shouts out to you for doing that, man. That's huge. We're humbled. We're similar to you, man. We just like to add to the culture, man, and you know, kind of give something back, you know, because it's few and far between, man. It's just so many people out looking for self, you know what I'm saying, instead of looking at to pull people with them. So it's super dope. We're super humble, man, and we appreciate that, man. But we locked in, man. We're gonna put something together, man. We cooking up. We definitely gonna combine the brands and come back with something even doper. We talk about Hood Idol, Address the Culture, iHipHopTV. It's a movement, man. So again, shouts out to you, man. We really appreciate everything that you're doing, dog. We see you, man, and we appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and that's something that you needed to know, man. So definitely spin the block. Anytime you got anything going on, anything you want to talk about, come on back to Address the Culture, man, and we're going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact.
All right, bet, man. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure to tell every platform and every artist, man, you know, even with our award, man, you know, make sure to appreciate every platform, no matter how big or small. Appreciate any recognition, no matter how big or small, because you never know who watching, what blessing could come from anything, especially when you humble yourself and be appreciative, you know, and not expect anything that's out of life or out of any situation. As long as you keep working hard and grinding, you know, situation will change. So that, you know, that's my motivation to all.
Well, look. When you say it like that, it ain't nothing else to be said. You already know the vibes. Y'all heard Lex Luga. It ain't nothing else to talk about, man. So,
himself,
man, come on,
the record breaker, the real one, right here.
You already know the vibes, man. Like, comment, subscribe, join the culture gang. So anytime we drop any kind of content, y'all be the first one to get it. So until next time, I'm your boy Big Wall.
I'm your man Pstock.
And this is Address the Culture. And like I always say, your culture makes you who you are. So make sure they respect it. We're going to catch you on the next episode. We up out of here.
Peace.
What's going on, everybody? It's Courage from Favorite Films, and I am excited to tell you some great news. You Gotta Have Courage is now streaming on Tubi. I have 4 episodes up. It's going to be epic. I hope you feel that same way. You have to check it out. And if you was wondering where your footage went and it wasn't in the video, it's because it went into the show. So take a look. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your cousin, tell your sister, and then repeat. Stay tuned to more You Gotta Have Courage. Peace.